All right, everybody, welcome back, and thank you so much for watching McRaeathon Presents A Blast from the Past. We are a 2-day speedrunning marathon held here on the McRaeathon channel, and through the power of the internet, we are bringing you 2 full days of old-school racing goodness from the comfort of our own homes to yours. Speaking of which, we have the one and only Peppermint Fleck. They're going to be running Colin McRae Round 2.0. So, Peppermint, take it away.
Thank you for the introduction, and thanks for having me. This one has kind of comes as a surprise to me as well. But I'm honestly excited to try and reclaim myself and finish the run that I couldn't finish the last time I was around. Right. Okay. So, okay. There we go. So this is the challenge mode run, and okay, I'll get started as soon as. Wait, do we have time? Or okay,
If you give us a countdown, Tech should be able to start the timer.
Okay, yeah. In that case, would you like to count me down?
Yeah, sure, I can give you the countdown. We'll get started then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Okay. Right. So I'm gonna introduce the run a little. This is the challenge mode, which is a series of super specials, and each of them are a tournament. So I will be playing each of the super specials 4 times. And it's a single elimination tournament, so I have to win every time. The cars are selected at random. They're equal between the opponents, but still. And the whole run is doing all of the 5 countries, I believe. I am not entirely up to speed because I've picked up. I've picked this
probably
back up.
5.
I've picked it back up just like the other night when I found out that I might run this. I've done this one before, so I'm not coming in blind, but, you know, there's still some rust I have. But, yeah. I want to point out the thing that I didn't catch for the longest time, that this Japan track, which is only appears as a special stage, it took me so long to realize that this is an oval track. This is the infield of an oval. Look at the huge asphalt banks. It's
I think you can in certain places get out of bounds on this track and probably drive the oval around the super special.
Drive.
I mean, yeah, but you know, driving the whole oval.
Oh yeah.
I mean. Yeah.
Probably. I'll admit I never tried.
we used to have an expert when it comes to going out of bounds in our community.
Oh.
Ferrod. Yeah,
yes. I remember.
He was real. Yeah. He really was into like he tried to get out of the track on like every single page he tried. He invented a lot of skips actually, not for the challenge mode sadly, but for ILs and the championship.
The running a little weird, but okay.
Yeah, speaking of weird,
yeah.
You can see that the car changes its gears seemingly at random. It's because we are playing on automatic gears, especially.
I tried to do it on.
Are you?
I'm trying to do it on manual despite the bug, which sometimes completely skips
despite the bug.
It I decided to figure out. Yeah, maybe it works, but no. It drops in, but way too often. I'll drive the rest on. I'll have to finish Japan on manual, but no, it is. It's a little too much.
Yeah, it really looked like you were playing on automatic because it often struggles on corners.
Yeah.
It would just want you know, gear up. when going through a corner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of
so
the
so the
times
PC version of this game has this weird bug where
specifically
if
in
you're playing on
challenge mode
yeah,
and arcade
yes.
mode, so any ones that have other cars around. For some reason, it starts dropping gear inputs. I thought for the longest time that it had to do with my keyboard, maybe, because that's a very simple one at the time. But no, the keybinds did not change it. I thought maybe it has to do with them being system keys, now shift and control, but no, changing them didn't help. It's unfortunately a deeper rooted bug we don't know the answer to yet.
Yeah, what's even more strange, it's not the only manual gearbox related bug in the game, because if you finish the championship mode, you have this cutscene of your car like celebrating in UK.
Yeah.
And the cutscene doesn't really start because when you're in manual, because it's just the game controlling your car.
That's weird because
so it just
I swear I saw the celebration stuff even though I've played through the game on manual. That's odd.
I mean the cutscene starts, but
like I've seen the car drop.
It's just like stuck in place.
Oh, so it's supposed to be like doing donuts and whatnot?
Yeah, exactly. I think
I thought I only saw it like drive into like it slides into frame and stops.
Nah, but are you sure you're playing on manual?
I am. Like it does not do donuts, but I played the game in manual and the car would just slide into the barrier and stop. And I was thought the idea was that they tested it with one car, probably for the Focus, and it stops nicely between before the barrier. But on other cars, because they have slightly different physics, it just slides into the barrier and stops. I'm pretty sure if we finish ahead of estimate, I'm pretty sure I have a save here right before the celebration. So
Okay.
So we might see.
I see you have the other livery on your Subaru, not the
it's the one that
the original one.
No, this is the what game. This comes with different. This delivery depends on the region of your game. I did not mod this.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I
but
don't entirely
in my
remember.
opinion, the original is a lot better. I mean, the original, the yellow one.
The brackets, yes. Actually, would it be the brackets? No, I think it's already like the proper pattern. So that's okay. So we've done with the first one. Automatic this time. Okay, Greece. We've done with Japan. Now we start with Greece.
Yeah, and we got the worst car out of the 6.
No, I wouldn't say so. I kind of like it.
I mean, as much as I wish it was as much as I wish it was just a preference choice. This car, I believe, objectively is the slowest out of the main 6.
Maybe.
Well, the Seat Cordoba is the fastest one.
The Seat Cordoba, yeah, I'm aware of the Cordoba being very much the fastest, but honestly, I kind of like the Corolla. I think I've played through the game on... One of the latest playthrough was with the Corolla. Honestly, I feel like it doesn't get enough credit because Toyota usually shies away from its rally legacy, and when it does, it tries to pretend they didn't do any rally, and on the occasion they mention their rallying, it's always the Celica and only a Celica. And even then they pretend like, no, there was only the ST-185, there was no other Celicas ever. Completely forgetting that it was like the twin turbo, like the original, older, I don't remember what the actual chassis code for that one is. But yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, and that's the first heat done of the second
First heat, yeah.
super special stage challenge mode thingy.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of getting a good car.
Yes.
No, I think these are uh,
Go ahead.
that all the 6 main cars you get at the very beginning of the game, they have
Yeah.
their top speed are their top speeds are very similar. Although I believe Cordoba is the heaviest of them all, and that's why
I think
it's
I
it's the
always thought
fastest.
I thought the Lancer was the fastest, and then from what I remember of people saying back in the day when I played this as a kid, I remember people saying that the Impreza had more top speed. Then people were saying that the Corolla has more acceleration but less top speed. Then they were saying that I think the 206 has both, but it handles terribly, and then the Seat is just everything, but it's big.
We had some experts in the chat previously fact checking that Corolla is the slowest, so maybe they can also fact
It is,
check
but
if
I
Seat is
still
the
like it. I
fastest.
still like it. The Bug-Eye Corolla does
I
not
mean,
get
yeah,
the
of
love.
course.
Okay.
On to the semifinals with a good car with the Impreza.
I like the concept of this, where it just picks the same random car for both opponents. And it's the same one in that it gets you to play all of the cars, and but getting a bad car isn't a disadvantage. And it's a good way to get a taste for all of them and see what sticks with you. It's just a lot of the times
although
games have a wide roster, but then you feel like half of them aren't viable, or you might never try a car you'd like. So I like the concept of this mode. Not the least because
but there's this thing that
Ooh.
can you get a 360?
Nope.
Or at least a J turn? Okay, I
yeah.
guess that will do.
Panicked a little late. Right, you were saying?
As I was saying, you get to like drive different cars that are assigned by the game, but you can't drive all of them because you only get the main 6 that are unlocked. Yeah, the basics. So if you think about it, I think there is no way to drive any other car than the original 6 on the Japanese track.
Right.
Because you can play this one in time trial because it's in the career mode, or the championship rather.
Yeah,
but the Japanese is exclusive to the challenge mode.
Okay, there's the Evo again. Okay. But yeah, it's just a really good way to get a taste platter, to like see all of it, to get a feel for more cars. I like it.
I mean, yeah, I used to play this mode a lot as a kid.
I love the concept of this mode also because this is genuinely like, I think it was advertised as technically 16 like local 16 player multiplayer. Technically, yes, you can have a tournament of 16 people. Like, it's... And I love that because of the bots, this is technically... It doesn't require to have an even amount of people. It's a really good party mode, for the lack of a better word. And of course, you know, it's only a party mode if you have friends that like these kind of games. Which, unfortunately, I only had one. Who didn't see a lot.
Yeah, I can feel that pain.
Yeah. Again, it's hard enough to just generally find other people who are into racing games that are on your level, like precisely at your level. So it's not... Oh, and I restarted the challenge instead of continuing. But yeah, let's see. Challenge and automatic. Sweden, the arguably, in my opinion, the most difficult one.
Yep, that's a pretty common opinion. This one and the one in
I like.
The UK.
I think it's more difficult than the UK.
Yeah, that's a fair opinion, especially since you can't really change anything about your car, unlike in the championship mode where you get the service area.
Yeah.
There is no service area in this mode, sadly, and not in the arcade as well. So you just go with the like the basic settings for your car. No, not changing the gear ratio or anything really.
At least it only works out because at least you're on even ground with the AI.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, not ideal.
No, I don't think this has been tested properly, but probably you could just wall ride through some of those corners.
It's sometimes a little weird. So I will if I have to. You have my word. I am honorable, but not that honorable.
Yeah, those levels. Most of them are also available as ILs and in the championship mode.
Yeah, and
but if you're speedrunning the if you're speedrunning the championship mode, you don't really play them the way they were intended, because there's this neat little trick, I guess. Not really sure how to call it, because it's okay. Nice. It's not really a bug because it's like it's been programmed in with the by the developers. But if you crash into the other racer, the entire race stops. You get like a 3-minute penalty, and you just move on to the next race. So in this case, that would be the next country. Yeah. So since unlike Sega Rally 2, this game's speedruns are timed in real time, we don't really care about the 3-minute penalty. So we just move on.
I mean, you still need to manage to win the championship, I imagine, but I do remember that like there is an excess of points that you can just afford to lose some.
You know, with Sweden, I think there's enough skips in the original 4 stages before the special stage, the super special stage. Sorry, there's enough skips that you can actually secure the win even with the penalty. Because if you're playing on novice,
I'm still wondering how this was programmed, so they were expecting that players would try to get out of bounds to crash into the other player. Or is it is the expectation just that you were so slow that the other car catches you and crashes into you? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Impressive in its own right.
Yeah, also the hitboxes are really weird when you're colliding with the second driver. Most of the time you can go through them without even triggering the end of the race, which sometimes is pretty costly in speedruns because you have to turn around and try to catch them again. Now, Sweden is probably the one country where playing on manual would really benefit you, but given how
many corners
there's this bug.
Yeah, there are there is the automatic really is not sure what to make of the long corners where you're just sliding and sliding and sliding.
Okay, there's also one other thing I really want to mention.
Yeah.
Because as I already said, the way to beat this in the championship mode is to literally just go around and turn around and hit your opponent. But what happens if you do this in the challenge mode? Well, on PC, and like, pay attention. On PC, you get disqualified, and like you lose.
Okay.
You get knocked out. But on PlayStation 1, you don't. If you're placed as the second on the second lane, so if you're the second person in the heat,
Okay.
then you can just abuse that that thing over and over again.
So does the second person always win if there is a collision?
Apparently, I'm not really sure how that was found. Probably Viper knows.
That sounds like a
If there's
story now.
anyone, if there's anyone wondering why the PlayStation 1 challenge runs are vastly slower than the PC ones, that's the reason. So the PS1 version of this category turned into this RNG fest where you really want to start in the eighth pair as the person on the bottom, and that way you can just DNF four times and win. It doesn't happen too often that you're placed the way I described it.
Yeah.
So most of the time, I mean, it's RNG basically. But if you're placed in the eighth pair as the racer on the bottom, you can just like get 4 freebies.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
like
you win.
You win the speedrun. Okay.
It's always been extremely interesting to me that even though you and your opponent are racing the same car, the engine noises are different.
I imagine that that is on purpose. They're like they are pitched up. Like you can notice that happens even in the later titles in like Chrono Trigger Rally 3 and 04, because they're just pitched up or down, because I imagine the idea was just how do we make sure the noise just doesn't become overwhelming because it's just two identical noises, and we can't really do Doppler very well at that time.
Also, I think, at least in this case right now,
Yeah.
I think you're both Lancers, but the other car sounds like a Focus from this game.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly that engine noise used for some reason.
I haven't played this recently enough to be sure.
Yeah.
Again, I'm reiterating for all the chat. Like this run is as much a surprise to you as it was to me. It's your fault, but honestly, it's all a good fun and a good show for a good cause. Even if it's a little janky in how we set it up this time. Ain't that the rally spirit? Pushing on in spite of all the trouble and all the mistakes.
So true.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the Kenya track.
Yep.
Kenya is like the rally of Kenya has a lot of long straights.
Yeah.
So you would really benefit if you could like make your gears longer.
Admittedly,
the way you do it in championship.
I will admit, for this like specific super special, you probably wouldn't benefit from it too much because the automatic is very indecisive about 6th gear. So sometimes you can't get it until halfway down the straight, and so you'll be at around I think 106-ish. Is that about how much it may like most cars do in 5th by default? We'll see. Right, let's see.
Oh, this is the Focus. The opponent engine noise is exactly the same, I think.
Yeah, and you can hear them being copied. You can hear, especially when you're revving at the start, you can hear it's almost like an echo. Like there is a harmony. What? Okay. The thing that always got me about Kenya is it's usually you can very clearly tell if you are on part of the ground designed as a road and part of the ground that isn't, because they immediately like slow down a lot. But like Kenya is a lot weird about this detection because there's a lot of shoulder on the road that does not slow you down as off-road does. It's the boundaries of where you're expected to drive are a little more relaxed. Like this isn't off-road.
Oh, those bridges are nasty, in my opinion.
They are.
Especially because of those poles.
The other one is arguably on the inside lane. It's much scarier because you're approaching it at diagonal, so you really have to thread the needle.
Yeah.
That one you're at least approaching straight head on, so you can just, you know.
Getting back to the topic of championship mode and beating the game faster than intended.
Okay.
Kenya is probably the hardest one to perform the super special stage penalty trick thingy. Mostly because you're approaching. Usually, you're approaching if you're on a pace. You're approaching the second driver at the longest straight on this track, and sometimes it's not entirely up to you if the game's going to like give you a collision. Because as I said previously, sometimes you can just drive through each other when trying to like crash.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's exactly here probably is where you would try to like catch the other guy, and especially since there are also bumps in the road. It's not an entirely easy task to actually crash into the other racer.
I would have expected you to like just park up sideways in the middle of this like narrow section. But I suppose waiting for
that's
the
a
AI
possibility.
But I suppose waiting for the AI is slower than trying to race to crash into them head on.
Yeah.
Oof.
They changed it in the next installments. I think in 2004 and 2005 you have to like wait at the start line. You can't really start reversing because you'll get respawned.
Understandable. I honestly 3 I for my history with Conquer Rally series, I understand that like 2 is the better one arcade, like because it's a really good old school arcade. 4 has more content, but I still hold a special place in my heart for 3, simply because it's an excellent case for presentation can carry an otherwise mediocre game. 3 is not really like that great mechanically, but by God, it knows how to present itself. I love the idea of how you are shown the damage before every stage, if you'd like. You are reminded of it. I love the way that you're shown the map as you are loading in. It shows the not just the map of the super special you're driving, but the loading is the map filling in the road coming up to the special, and how it load and the podium scenes like they still give me shivers, even if they're super basic.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare it to
CMR free. Really makes you feel like you're Colin McRae.
It does make it feel very special in that way. And then you come to Conquer Rally 4, which is excellent, but then you win a championship and all you get is a pre-render with your car on the podium. No music, no nothing. It's a single pre-rendered image, which is kind of low resolution at that. And it's just kind of so anticlimactic. I will say though, One thing I love about 4 is the research, like the R&D, like testing, because it's such a perfect way to give you the whole idea of you being the driver, not necessarily like the. Nowadays, when they give you the career mode, it kind of makes you feel like the CEO. But that game made you feel like the driver because yeah, we're doing research and development. Drive this, do this task. Like you're like holding this specific RPM, brake within this section, or shred those tires, destroy the suspension. It was a really interesting change of pace, and the fact that it was specific tasks under like pressure, it was. Oh, okay, and then I restarted again. Okay, now we are coming up onto UK.
Yeah, the last super special challenge.
All right. I've always found that, like, of all the models, generally the modeling in this game is pretty good. But 206 was one that always looked a little weird. Like, it didn't, the rear doesn't entirely look like the WRC car.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, it's just a little melted. Which is interesting because they got like the Corolla with its curves a lot better, and like the on some of the more complicated cars really on point.
Oh, those hairpins at the very end.
They're really nice to get right.
Yeah.
This chicane though, I never liked much because if you take it a little too excited, you are not making it, and you're just stuck in a wall.
Yeah. Especially since in the UK rally in this game, there is a lot of hay bales on the edges of the road.
Yeah, the concrete hay bales.
Yeah, the concrete hay bales. So you can probably imagine what would happen if we drove into one of those.
Trust me, I've played this game casually enough to know what happens. The limitations of the time. And the endless jokes about how this is actually a good example of superposition, because every bush is simultaneously, it is both intangible and it is made of concrete. And you never know until you drive through it.
Yeah, now the AI driver has the engine sound of a Corolla. I think I want to say. Yeah, I think that's a Corolla now.
Might be.
Oh.
Hello.
Yeah. One of the things I really like about the extremely early 2000s games is how most of the trees, most of the scenery is entirely 2D, and it's just like tries to like turn
it's billboards. It's just
itself around to your face. Yeah, it's always trying to face you.
I mean, it's at least okay when it's things that are like horizontal with you. It gets really trippy if you are ever moving up and down.
Yeah. Now in the UK, this might become a little problematic because we are trying to like cut some corners a little too much, perhaps maybe, and we may go through the leaves of a tree, but maybe we can like also hit the pole in the inside, which yeah,
and get shafted.
Not cool.
In more ways than one.
Nice. Now, okay, 2 heats left.
2 heats left, and hopefully this time I won't fail at the very last one.
Why would you say that?
Because I like to live dangerously, and I.
Yeah. in the other pair there was McRae rather, and I believe probably I don't think I've ever seen Colin actually lose up until he got the player. So it's probably safe to say that the final is going to be you versus McRae.
Honestly, I've seen them lose. I think I can't really be sure. But we're about to find out. Maybe. Okay.
Also, this effect of going through the puddle of water. Oh, it's on the other lane.
Yeah,
well,
it is.
Never mind then.
But it is one of the. Somebody just called it in. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Even like it's weird because it looks weird even by the standards of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I think like not adding it at all would have looked more realistic. Okay, in that case, no, it is McRae.
Yeah, it is McRae in a Corolla out of all cars.
And the other car sounds like a Corolla pitched even higher up.
Yes. Oh, it's a pretty interesting sound. Yeah.
It is. It gives Gran Turismo a run for its money.
Yeah, all those hairpins and the UK track, they can be really deadly if you're approaching them with too high of a speed.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a speedrunner and you're trying to like bonk with your rear. Sometimes you can just flip,
Yeah,
even if even if it doesn't make sense.
I've seen it.
At all.
Seen it. No, not this chicane.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Now over the bridge. Through the trees.
Oh, a little rough.
Nah, you got this,
Over the water?
Certainly. Over the water. And now the hairpins.
Yeah. Oh, it's
And
a run
get ready
down
on
the
time.
line. It's a run down the line.
Now you're going to win.
Time.
And that's time.
Why?
By 88 point, by 0.88 rather.
Well, very well. Thanks for inviting me, and well, here's to holding up to rising up to the challenge I couldn't last time.
Yeah, you certainly redeemed yourself with going
It's
like
been
8 minutes underestimate.
Yeah, I probably the leftover time could go to that one estimate beforehand. Right. And hey, maybe we'll give somebody more time to set up. Right. Okay. So, thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me. It's been kind of an adventure trying to get back into it on such a short notice. Right.
But no, big GG's on that run, and especially coming so far in underestimate. That, like you said, it's going to give us a little bit more time to set up for some upcoming runs. It's always nice to have that kind of comfiness, right? That security blanket of coming in so early underestimate. I'm not used to it. Over at NSG, we are the kings of going overestimate by hours. So
I know the feeling.
very, very, very much you love to see it. So
gift.
Anyway, thank you so very much for that run. We're going to hop on over to an intermission here shortly. And when we come back, we are going to have Howlin' Mad Mike running something a little bit even further old school, some hard driving.
Oh,
So
yeah.
stick around, enjoy the music, and come on back to the 14 polygons that you get with hard driving.
All right, we are on intermission. Thank you, everyone.